Coach, I was curious about Deke Adams and Dominique Bowman. You obviously had a lot of input in the hiring process with those guys, being the guy for defense. What was it about both of them that, led you guys to say, hey, this is our guy? 'Cause Coach Bowman's, relatively young, and, was it Marshall? Deke Adams has been around the block a little bit more.
When speaking about Dominique first, when I was an assistant coach at University of Memphis, Dominique was a high school coach. I think he was at Cordova High School, and we had a camp, and a bunch of the high school coaches came and worked. And Dominique walked in and ran. We worked together. I was the secondary coach. And we worked together on putting drills together and then going on the field and coaching. And Dominique blew it out of the water. He just was unbelievable, off the charts on the way that he taught. And I'd kind of followed his career. That was in 2000, I don't know, probably that was 2012 or 13. And I followed his career from there. Was so impressed with him, and always, with social media now and the way that the coaching circles are, you can follow a guy pretty closely and maybe they don't even know it. But I always, his teams played at a high level in the positions he coached. And I heard him speak at a number of different clinics over the year. Had kind of reached out, a few years ago, just continuing to try to maintain a relationship. So once I knew we had an opening at that spot, that there was a number of guys that were qualified that wanted to be here. My focus went pretty quickly to him to see if we had an opportunity. And then with Deke, knew about Deke because name recognition, number one, of what he had done in our conference up until he was out of it last year. But I knew about Deke this from afar a little bit more than had never really been around him. But he was at Ole Miss, was at Mississippi State. He'd been at South Carolina. I think he and Coach Pittman knew of each other a little bit more than I knew Deke. But we've got a guy in our program in the personnel department, Brian Overton, that had worked with Deke recently, and he just mentioned to him, and he didn't push him at all. He goes, hey, why don't you check this guy out? And made a lot of calls, spent a lot of hours on the phone with a number of different people, and thought Deke was the right guy at the right time for our program. And man, what a joy both of those guys have been to be around.